Pratap Somvanshi is a celebrated Indian poet, lyricist and writer who was born in Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh. Holding an MA in Hindi literature from Kanpur University, he not only excels in literature but also serves as the managing editor of Hindustan Hindi daily newspaper. And renowned for his profound poetry, he has earned prestigious honors as well. His influence extends to cinema, having penned a qawwali for the film Azamgarh, sung by the Nizami brothers. Somvanshi's literary impact reaches into school textbooks for non-formal education in Uttar Pradesh, showcasing his enduring contribution to poetry and literature. First of all, Pratap, welcome to Kathmandu, Nepal. What brings you here?
बहुत नमस्कार। मैं यहाँ पे जो आया हूँ वो मेरा सौभाग्य ये है कि नेपाली में मेरी पुस्तक है कबीर की पत्नी पे, वो एक ड्रामा है, वो रिलीज़ हुई है नेपाली में पिछले 2 दिनों पहले जो करेंगा लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल हुआ काठमांडू में, उसमें तो उस पुस्तक के रिलीज़ के लिए और उस पुस्तक पे चर्चा के लिए मैं यहाँ हाजिर हुआ।
Well, let's have this conversation in English for the viewers that we have out there. So, as the managing editor of Hindustan Hindi Daily, you've witnessed significant changes in the sector of journalism, not just in India or Nepal, the entire world. So, how do you see the rise of new media and its impact on traditional or mainstream journalism?
I am the witness of more than 3 decades in the field of journalism, more than 3 decades. I have been worked with the Tradial press, then monotype press, then offset, then super offset, then digital media came. Then so there are a lot of changes. So, changes come in the form of technology and in form of social impact and in form of impact on media on society. So, right now there are several medium like digital medium like print and television. So, all medium are growing as far as concerned India. So, all medium are growing in same manner and all medium having his own impact. Just like as if you say social media, then people break news from there, people break news from Twitter.
Now X.
Television provide visuals and we provide details and analysis. So, that is why all mediums are growing together.
Well, because you're involved in literature for such a long period of time, your poetry is known for its deep social commentary as well, and you've been a senior journalist for a long period of time. So where does the amalgam of literature, poetry and journalism lie?
On my Twitter bio, I write poetry and journalism are my 2 eyes. So you cannot see in full length if you close your 1 eye. So, if I open with 2 eyes, if I visualize anything from 2 eyes, then I can see more clear. And poetry give me a lens like as my eyes, your eyes has a vision of 6 by 6 as per science terms, 6 by 6. If you want to see more than 6 by 6, then we need a lens. That's why my poetry give me a lens that I can see more clear.
So how do you balance as a poet and as a journalist the emotional and intellectual aspects of writing when you're writing poetry or when you're writing a news story or editing one?
Poetry give me a sense to understand news more emotionally. And my emotions support me in poems, or that emotion support me in journalism. So, emotions support you everywhere, either you are working in field of medical, media field, any field. So, emotion is a strength, it's not a weakness. So, I use it as a strength when I work for media, I work for a newspaper, then that emotion give me strength to work more better or more impactful way for society.
Well, in terms of society and education now in particular, your works have also been included in the school textbooks, right? So, through formal or non-formal writing for children, how is poetry or journalism and both significant so that we can shape better minds for the future of your country, my country, the the planet
same,
in general?
Same, because non-formal education means that was clearly for adult education segment. It means more than 15. 15 to 35 was target group of when we are creating literature of non-formal education. Then 15 to 35. It means those people were not able to go school, college,
formal education.
Formal education. That's what they needed. Informal, non-formal education. So non-formal education, this was a way to contribute more that people where no school can provide them the education.
Well, back to journalism now. You earlier mentioned that people these days, they break news from their social media handles, whether it be X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, or even Telegram or Instagram. How do you see the rise of citizen journalism? Because now that everyone has a cell phone and then internet access and the video cameras better than the devices that we have our studios. So how do you see the rise of it? And again, another part to this, which I'm going to add, is the rise of YouTubers like Dhruv Rathi and then the mainstream media, the tussle between them. What is your observation?
My observation is one part is linked with your question, second part. Very good. It's an opportunity to explore by everyone. Everyone can explore himself. But here are the basic challenges, question of credibility. The question of credibility we face, anyone can upload anything. He has no nothing have any kind of responsibility. He can put any data, and the data goes on. Many people refer that data, and at the last moment, if you go with artificial intelligence, then the data come through artificial intelligence. Then where the source close the artificial intelligence, people think this is right. Even Wikipedia questions in my country, that data were very wrong. That because anyone can upload and update. So this is very good medium, very necessary medium. A medium which impact on society, which empower to people, but the question of credibility, the question of credential, both are linked with each other.
So the challenge is there for mainstream media to combat the citizen journalism aspect, but at the same time, what you said is citizen journalism is required and necessary for creating an awareness. The challenging thing is fact-checking. As the editor, what do you think?
Fact-checking, I think I am very optimistic person too. So I think everyone are here to support you. Just like as if any YouTuber is giving any new clue for me, that's I feel that is the point of a story. If anyone tweet, anyone write comment in any X post, then I think that is input for me. So everyone is just like as earlier, everyone is growing, everyone is developing, everyone is and the social media is able to make responsible mainstream media in some extent. So that is the truth.
That is why it's also very important. Now, we've seen the decline or the downfall of print media in some parts of the world. In Nepal, the readership of newspaper is on a decline. That is what we're getting to see. How is it in India? Because we see people are still reading newspaper in India. It's probably because of the population. I don't know, so I want to know it from you firsthand.
In India, during the period of COVID, we were all thinking that the newspaper era is finished. But after 2-3 years, we have back and got overall circulation, not exact circulation, but nearby, especially jo regional media, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, they have got more than 80% of numbers. they covered.
So why do you think did it rebounds in India? Because in Nepal it is not the case.
Rebounds in India because the population of India is too high, and if some urban, in urban segment you can say in Delhi, surely newspaper numbers goes on a lower order. If you say in Mumbai, there where goes on lower order. But a small town, B-type of town, or literacy empowered people try to get information and try to get information. The newspaper is basic source, and the credentials of newspaper are existing today. That's why the credential of credential of newspapers are supporting all of them to survive.
So it is the content is what matters, and that is also probably the reading culture in India. That's very good. That's why people prefer reading newspapers as well, and even books to add to that. The other thing that I wanted to know from you is, what is it like in India right now in terms of fake news, misinformation and disinformation from the mainstream media, from prints?
From print, but if you think from print, if a systematic, if an organizational structure newspaper, then you can easily understand. There are, if a news release from a small center, then there are 9 type of checkpoint. If a news release from a center, then the bureau chief confirm that news, then the desk in charge confirm that news, then again the local edition desk in charge confirm, editor local edition, that news come to Delhi, then the same process repeat here. So there are 9 checkpoints for a news. So there is possibility if our intention is not bad. If you want to put and publish a correct news and correct news, then there is no possibility to upload fake news from a newspaper side. It is possible when we lack our system, when we
when there are lapses in the layers.
Lapse in the system. That's why even people today confirm from the newspaper. If anything is available on social media, then they are always check by tomorrow newspaper, is it here or not.
Well, that is quite similar in Nepal as well. We have so many different social medias, but if an issue is of serious concern for the public, they still refer to mainstream media like Kantipur, Daily or Kathmandu Post television to check the details, because we do follow up stories, because these are the stories of concern to the public as well, and that is where our journalism ethics comes in action as well. In addition to that, there's this term which I'm not aware much about. I'd like to hear or be explained, be educated about this from you. What is Godi media? What does it even mean?
This is a term, Jai's term. Prime Minister is Narendra Modi, then people can Godi media. People can, or Rahul Gandhi. So then people say Gadi media, say anything. So that is a perception. That is perception created by people, those are in opposition, and those are in then say a term Pattalkar, then Pattalkar. So they question.
In Nepal, we have the term Patrukar for that.
Patrakar. Then in Hindi, we use the term Patrakar. Then ye use Pattalkar. Matlab they are people those get from benefit from government side. They say they are Pattalkar. There are several. I say Godi media exists. Several Pattalkar exists, but media also exists, and credential of media also exists. That's why we are surviving. We surviving television. We are surviving print, and that's why we are surviving.
So you mentioned these entities are surviving because of the ethical aspects. So how can journalists and editors and the newsroom not be influenced by the corporates or the politicians? How do you do that in India?
I am a editor from last 25 years, and the total career of mine 35 years. So I have been worked so many big editors. I say there is no pressure of corporate, there is no demand of politicians, there is no demand of any corporate, so this will be wrong. People will put your list in your basket, it's on you. How you mold, how you try to accommodate, and how you consider them, then it's you. There are so many journalists, not I am saying I am that type of journalist. There are so many journalists, those are able to handle pressure, and if you are here, if you are here or there, so there are so many pressures. If you are on the road, a traffic constable is existing and doing a duty, then there are so many people violate traffic, there are so many people put on pressure to that constable, that constable handle that type of pressure. If you are doing your job, then that pressure will come, but you are able to handle, then it's
indeed, it's all about the journalist and the editorial or newsroom and keeping the ethics, in check.
So if you are able to own your ethical values, then things are not tough.
So in a similar line, what is the term yellow journalism? How do you see it? What is the explanation?
Yellow journalism, there are two types of yellow journalism. Yellow journalism, first of all, like me, like I will do anything from my personal favor. If I will do anything from take to provide benefit for a party, that is yellow journalism. That is yellow journalism.
So, do you see the practice of it being rife in India right now?
Everything exists. Like in our body, viruses are available. Yeah, it's our immune system. How virus I can tolerate? How can my internal system fight with that virus? That's why we are fit. Yeah, we are unfit. Someone is fit. That's why.
The other thing wanted to ask was, with the penetration of YouTube and, like we mentioned earlier, citizen journalism, so many people can create stories and post it on their own. Even the mainstream media, established media organizations have been found of using clickbait on social media platforms, in digital platforms, online platforms. What is your observation of it?
Yeah. Individual players, organizational players, both are doing well. Both are doing well. Even some YouTubers are doing very well. Their credential is very high, or their fact, their figure. Their fact people use because they always disclose the source of information. They work like it is not that if someone is posting from an organization, then only that guy is right. If someone is uploading from social media, then that were wrong. So exactly, there are so many YouTubers. They are doing very well. They are doing very impactful, and then so many veteran journalists. They are on social media. They are doing their videos, their analysis. People use it, people see it in millions to millions.
I was going to ask that as well, because we've seen in India in recent years, some of the prominent journalists have quit television or newspaper and shifted to the digital media platforms. So why are they leaving the mainstream?
Yeah, they have right now. This is the truth and very good thing. Right now, the journalist has an opportunity to work in his own capacity, then they can get more freedom, they can express themselves in their own way. So, if they choose that thing and opportunity is available, people think in earlier days, but there were no option and opportunity. People can write, a veteran journalist in my senior they can write only column in newspapers. There were no opportunity. So that's why opportunity is available. So people are exploring that opportunity.
Great. because India is such a big country with such a huge population, it's very diverse, and that is also why the media sector of India is also diverse. So how do you see the regional language media of India doing right now?
Regionally, media is doing very well and growing very well, doing and growing both. Because in recent year, Tamil, there are so many Tamil groups, even Telugu, even Uriya. There are so many Indian vernacular languages press. They are performing very well.
So,
because of population, because of their readers, number of readers, because of their market size, a small town of India are growing very well. That's why these newspapers are growing. All newspapers are growing from the 91, 92, because when global economy come, that's why the impact on society, impact on media, impact on market, so everything is correlated with each other.
So there's this huge population of middle class in India which is doing so well, and that is also why Indian economy is growing exponentially, neck to neck with China at the moment, and leaving so many other economies of the world behind. So how has the Indian journalism sector, industry, or Indian media contributed to raising the voices of the middle class and the lower middle class and the poor people as well?
Yeah, media is raising the voices, but there are so many places where we have a lack, then things are not in focus directly, which is required, as you said.
Even the case of the farmers,
that's why I say, because my expertise, my core is, I used to write farmer issues very often. That's why we see, as a writer who has an interest in the farm sector, then the representation of media to raise the voice of farmer is not up to the mark.
So much more can be done, is what you're saying?
Yeah, much more can be done, much more will be required. The voices of farmer is more need to focus more and more.
We just recently had an election in India. We're having an election in the United States of America. I think as we speak, we have the debate between US presidential candidates right now. So how do you see the influence of media in swaying public opinions and votes about the politicians?
Yeah, where we started our conversation, like impact on media people in the morning, when by 7 to till night 12. People are getting information more and more and more and more everywhere. The information, right or wrong, which will put in your mind, then that make an impact. So that made an impact.
Well, now looking back at your personal journey and experience in media and at the same time literature, what are the most significant lessons you've learned about storytelling? Whether through poetry or journalism?
Just like I said, poetry and journalism are my two eyes. So poetry give me vision. If I am not able to express myself in poetry, poetry is my first love. I chose to write poem first. I rise to express myself in poetry. If poetry, the boundary of poetry limit me, then I think elaborate, and I used to that thing in form of storytelling, in the form of novel, in the form of drama. Just like my book, which was released 2 days ago in Kathmandu, then primarily I wrote that in the form of a long poem. But I thought the content is not cover the whole thing. Then I write it in the form of drama. Then that book come.
Great. So, closing remarks, your words for aspiring journalists in Nepal and around the world who's watching.
Everywhere, aspiring journalists everywhere. I used to write this thing in our induction meeting, in our news meeting, ki just read, because we are not selling anything. We are not, we are, whatever we are receiving for or with by our knowledge. If we have no knowledge, then we were ATM card, just if you put ATM card and there is no balance in our account, then that give us, there is insufficient balance. So if you are, you want to make your career, then grow your knowledge, that is the ultimate thing.
So reading is
the ultimate tool, and for society, everywhere.
Well, thank you so much, Pratap, for your time this morning. We really hope you have a great remainder of your stay in Nepal. Good to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.